Maker and critical maker movement. The maker movement is a relatively new movement that emerged with the public access to electronic and hackerspaces. People create and exchange ideas for DIY projects that they can build by themselves thanks to the free access to new technologies. In response to this movement, the critical making movement started to appear. Used by Matt Ratto in 2008 and it's now been spread all over the world. This movement is being created due to the lack of meaning during most of the design processes of these maker creations. It mixes hands-on making and critical thinking together. As Dune describes it, critical design is focused on building industrial prototypes that question the way products reinforce a banal, comfortable status quo by being efficient, optimized, comfortable, and instead pushes user into more complex emotional and psychological territory by questioning social norms and stimulating discussion and criticism of design itself. One of the most well-known critical maker is Garnet Hertz. Garnet Hertz is the creator of the Critical Making book. This book is a collection of manifestos and experimental projects that follows the critical making philosophy. As he states, the maker movement generally creates gadgets. So here, Garnet Hertz is looking for a deeper meaning for the maker movement. The book goals are to blur the lines and broaden the fields of design, contemporary art, DIY craft, and technological development. As Garnet Hertz describes it, it can also be thought as an appeal to the electronic DIY maker movement, to be critically engaged with culture, history, and society. After learning to use a 3D printer, making an LED blink, or using Arduino, then what? Jin and Rabbi also describe critical making as being created mainly to make us think, but also raising awareness, exposing assumptions, provocating actions, sparkling debates, even entertaining an intellectual sort of way, like literature or film. Jin and Rabbi are some of the main leaders of this movement. One of their most astonishing work is the huggable atomic mushroom. This project is a soft toy simply made out of reflective fabric and polyester stuffing. The size of this project is decently small, as it is only 27 by 30 centimeters and can also easily be carried home. The huggable atomic mushroom is being created to make people think about the fears. They invite us to grasp our fears and tackle a symbol of nuclear annihilation and embrace it. This project is very contradictory as it transforms a very violent, traumatic event into a soft toy which main goal is to reassure and love. As a result, this project makes us step back and think about the subjectivity of the events that can occur in our lives. This project shows how impactful creation and design can be. It demonstrates that creation or design is not only about making aesthetically pleasing and sellable products, but can also be used as a way of raising awareness or make people reflect onto a specific subject. Another project that follows the critical making movement in a slightly different way is the video code by David Forbes. This video code is a lab code that is being turned into a color TV set. It's made out of 160 by 120 pixel LED display that are built onto a flex board. So now I will show you a video of the project so you can have a better understanding of the project.
This is the video coat. You'll notice that it's a bit psychedelic today. It's being modeled by my nephew Stephen. You can see, yes, he pulsates. There's a lot of electronics up there. Whoa, scary amounts of electronics. We move over here to the other side, there's even more. This is the scanner board that drives all of the LED strips. You can see the connecting cables right there. And if you look real closely, I don't know how close this camera will go, but you can see the individual LEDs pulsating. That is pretty trippy. Over here is the control center. There's the iPod cable. The iPod runs this thing. You'll notice there's knobs for color.
This isn't colorful enough.
There's black and white.
There we go.
there's color, and there's contrast. Not too interesting, and brightness. So that's what the knobs do. Now down here on the side there's another control board. If we move around here to the sleeve, you can see that the sleeve is full of strips. Whoa, there's a lot of wiring on those things. It's kind of bendy.
Yep.
That's the advantage of flex boards, they bend a lot. Over here on the other side, more sleeve action. There's an iPod which is set to play a video. You can't really tell by the video. And more cables way down here all the way to the bottom. You can see the picture is still pulsating down there. And there's Velcro in front to hold it together.
Yep.
So that's how it works.
It's relatively slim and form-fitting.
Yes, it could use a little stiffening here and there to make it more form-fitting. We're going to turn off the lights and see what happens, because it's best in the dark. Okay. Now all you can see is the glowing guy.
Ooh, that looks good.
There you have it. Video coat.
So this jacket is the perfect example of the maker movement. David Forbes created this jacket entirely by hand with electronic components acquired separately from each other. The combination of the open source project introduced by the maker movement and his knowledge allowed him to create the piece entirely by hand and by himself. The goal of this project is to be displayed and used as a costume for the Burning Man Festival. However, here David Forbes did not look for a deeper meaning behind the shape, but shows how powerful and innovating the maker movement can be. Here, the making of the object didn't really involve a lot of critical thinking, but the end use showed a reflection and awareness about the project influence. In the design process explanation, he mentions that wearing the jacket at the airport, the security got afraid of all the wires on his jacket. Him and his family had to go under a deeper screening test. However, the security, so obsessed by the wires, forgot to check the bag of his son that was containing 2 big lithium batteries. As a result, David Forbes raised awareness about how illogical some of those airport screenings can be. He also made the public think about how fears created by things we can see are not necessarily the most important.